I want to talk to you about new LLC business loans for fair credit. And if you are a new LLC and you're looking for a business loan that has fair credit, here are the top lenders I want you to pay attention to. The first lender I want to share with you is actually a Fundbox. So Fundbox will look at your new LLC, and if you have a fair credit, they will give you a maximum of $150,000. Okay, $150,000, which is really good. I mean, this is enough money for you to get payroll, to get inventory, to actually maybe get one or two or three pieces of equipment. This is really good. And also, what I love about Fundbox is that their APRs are pretty decent. So they will start you at about 4% to 8%, depending on your company's history. Okay, but the thing is, maximum is $150,000, and your new LLC has 12 or 24 weeks to repay the loan. I mean, you might be saying, well, this is a little short, but this is actually their way of mitigating the risk too. Okay, because they know that your new LLC has no history, has no, let's say, a proven track record, financial track record. So they want to really limit the risk too. So they're giving you 12 weeks or 24 weeks. 12 weeks, that's less than 3 months, really. Okay. And 24 weeks, that's less than six months as well. So on the positive side, if you think about Fundbox, you have low time in business and annual revenue requirements. So there are no prepayment penalties. And you also have a relatively fast funding process. Okay. So this is really cool. On the flip side, if you think about Fundbox for your new LLC, they may require a personal guarantee. In some cases, of course, they will take your fair credit. So if you have a credit score that's above 579 and below 640, they will still take it, but they might ask you for a PG, personal guarantee. And you do have short repayment terms with weekly payments required, and you have a low maximum borrowing amount compared to other lenders. So this is something to really keep in mind. If you have a new LLC and you are looking for a business loan for a fair credit, I want you to think about Fora Financial. So Fora Financial can really help you, okay, and can really give you a maximum of $5 million. So their loan amounts go from 500 to $5 million, and Fora Financial is good for financing equipment. So they will finance your new LLCs in terms of equipment, okay. So that's what they're specialized in, okay. That's why they can give you that much, because they know the loan is collateralized, either fully or at least partially. Okay, because otherwise, what would they give your new LLC up to $5 million with no account? Let's say with no risk mitigation. So the starting interest rate, if you go with Core Financial, is 8%. So 8%, that's really good. I mean, if you have fair credit, you can, I mean, 8%, one single digit is always good when it comes to APR. That's what I said all the time, okay? On top of that, Core Financial has a longer repayment window, like way longer than what Fundbox is offering. Fundbox is giving you, like 24 weeks. Core is giving you actually months. They're giving you 12 to 84 months. So we're talking 1 year all the way to 7 years. So that's really good because it gives you flexibility. Okay. And also, what I love about Core Financial is that they offer financing to cover the full cost of purchasing equipment with no down payment required. And there is no time in business requirement because, again, the loan actually revolves around the piece of equipment. Okay. And you do have a low credit score requirement. So this is really good. The only thing is that Core Financial charges a documentation fee. So it can be sometimes they call it closing fee, sometimes they call it documentation fee. And they may require a personal guarantee. And you do have stricter eligibility criteria for equipment financing or equipment refinancing. So something to really think about this year. So if you have a new LLC and you're looking for a business loan for a fair credit, I want you to think about Fora Financial. This is another lender that will really take care of you, will really give you all the money that you want, okay? And Fora Financial will give your new LLC a maximum of $1.5 million. So the loans actually will be capped at $1.5 million. And so basically, this loan is great for covering short-term cash flow gaps in your new LLC. And in terms of APR, they charge you in terms of factor rate. Okay, so the starting interest rate is 1.13. So you're looking at 1.13 factor rate. So you're looking at 13% minimum. Okay. And in terms of the repayment window, you're looking at 18 months. So that's 1 year and a half. Okay. I mean, you might say, well, this is too short, but at least you get some funding. So what are the pros and cons when it comes to Fora Financial? The pros first, you have a low credit score and time and business requirements. You have prepayment discounts available. So this is really good. So your new LLC will have prepayment discounts, and you also have relatively fast funding. On the flip side, you do have high annual revenue requirements. The factor rate makes it very difficult to compare loan cost with other lenders. That way, like you have no idea how much they're really charging you, like for real. And also you have a high loan amounts and short repayment terms could lead to a dangerous debt cycle if you're not prepared to repay the loan, right? Especially if you have if you don't have a plan in place to generate enough cash flow to repay the loan, okay? So if you want to qualify for Fora Financial, they were asking you for a minimum credit score of 570. So that's way below the fair credit score, like a fair FICO score. So minimum FICO score 550 to 570. Minimum time in business 3 to 6 months. So that's really cool. And the minimum annual revenue, and by the way, the revenue can be projected or actual. Maximum $240,000. Not maximum, minimum. If you have a new LLC and you are looking for a business loan for a fair credit, I want you to think about another lender this year, and I want you to think about Credibly. And Credibly actually is a pretty good lender, and Credibly will give you a maximum loan amount of $250,000. So you're looking at $25,000 all the way to $250,000. Okay, $250,000. And in terms of the repayment window, you are looking at 6 to 24 months. So half a year to 2 years. Okay. And the interest rate, the starting interest rate is around 11%. So that's the starting interest rate. It doesn't mean that's what you're going to get. It's just the starting. So if you think about this lender, Credibly, basically you have a very low credit score requirements, also low time in business requirements. So actually, like 1 to 3 months, that's the minimum. And you have relatively fast funding. So you can get your cash real fast, okay? On the flip side, you do have a high annual revenue requirements. And I will show you, like basically they're asking for $180,000. Okay. So that's really huge. That's about $15,000 a month. Okay. And also Credibly requires daily or weekly payments. So again, anytime a lender wants you to have weekly or daily payments, that could be very disruptive to your cash flow. And also, the fact that Credibly is not really transparent in terms of pricing could be a little problematic. Okay, so but one thing for sure, if you want to qualify for a Credibly business loan for your new LLC, make sure you have a minimum credit score of 500, that you have been in business for 3 to 6 months, and that you have minimum annual revenue of $180,000. Okay, that way you can tell whether or not you can really qualify for this loan or not. So if you're looking for a new LLC business loan for fair credit, I want you to think about Headway Capital. So Headway Capital, what I love about Headway Capital is that they are pretty flexible. Now, they're not as generous as other players on this list, but they are very fast. They're very fast and they're very flexible, okay? Why am I saying they're not really generous? Because they're giving you a maximum loan amount of $100,000. So if your LLC, if your new LLC needs more money, $100,000 is not going to cut it, right? But at least you have a certainty that you will be funded, okay? And so this is really good. And Headway Capital is actually really good for covering ongoing expenses, okay? And they do not actually publish their starting APR, so you need to contact the company to have more information. But the repayment window, like if they give you a maximum loan amount of $100,000, the repayment window goes from 12 to 24 months, okay? So what are the pros and cons here? The pros, you have relatively fast funding, no monthly or annual service fees, and also no prepayment penalties. So this is something to really think about this year. So no prepayment penalties. On the flip side, you have low maximum loan amounts compared to other lenders. There is actually a 2% draw fee in most states. So basically, if they're charging you a 2% draw fee every time you draw from the amount, this could be a little problematic. So sorry about that. This could be a little problematic, really. Okay, and also Headway Capital is not available in all states. Okay, for instance, they're not available in Arkansas, in Connecticut, in Montana, in Michigan, in North Dakota, in Nevada, in Rhode Island, in South Dakota, and Vermont. They're working on those states to get banking license, but as of the date of this show, there are actually those are areas where they're not present. Okay. But if you think about Headway Capital, I want you to think primarily as a business line of credit for your new LLC. Okay, so it's a line of credit that you can convert into a loan actually. So this is kind of cool. But if you can also leave it as a business line of credit for your new LLC if that works better for you. Okay, but it's just you just need to be aware that you need to have this conversation. Like you need to ask the company when you call them. That way they know what you want and they know what you're looking for before they start doing business with you. Okay, so that's important. So if you're looking for a new LLC business loan for fair credit, I want you to think about Altline. Think about Altline, and Altline is very generous in terms of financing your new LLC. But Altline is specializing in financing unpaid invoices, which means that you got to really generate revenue, because this is a revenue-based financing program. Okay, and by the way, Altline is part of the Southern Bank company, so this is a legit company that's a subsidiary of another legit company. So loan amounts go from 30,000 all the way to $5 million. Okay, since this program is based on revenue, everything depends on how much sales you have. So the advanced rate goes from 75% all the way to 90%. Okay, and the invoicing factoring fees go from 0.75% to 3.5%. So this is really good. So what are the pros and cons here? The pros. The company provides funding by collecting outstanding customer invoices on your behalf. It works with startups and bad credit borrowers, and funding is available within 24 to 48 hours. So this really gives you the possibility of very fast funding. So what are the what can you expect on the flip side? The company charges origination and wire fees. So, and this fees can be 1 or 2% of the loan amounts, and they require, how do I put it? They require your customers, not you, but they require your customers to have good credit. And the fees increase the longer an invoice is left unpaid. Okay, so you are still on the hook. that you're still on the hook. So if your business is sitting on unpaid invoices, working with an invoice factoring company like Outline might allow you to overcome cash flow issues without taking on debt. Okay. So with invoice factoring, you can sell outstanding invoices to companies like Outline and receive a cash advance. Okay. So again, the maximum here is 5 million. So this is really good. Now, the exact amount you can receive will depend on the value of your invoices. It depends on whom you're selling things to as well. I mean, so there are a lot of things that go into question before you get the loan amount that you really want for your new LLC. So if you're looking for a new LLC business loan for fair credit, I want you to think about Bank of America. So this is Bank of America is the only traditional bank on our list today. And if you have a new LLC, this bank can help you big time. Now, the only thing with the Bank of America is that they want you to be a customer of theirs. So it's better if you have a business bank account with Bank of America before you apply for a business loan. And the starting loan amount is 1,000, and there is no limits. The sky is literally the limit because Bank of America has a huge balance sheet to be able to take on whatever debts you are bringing to the table, okay, or whatever loan you want to have from them. They, they can they can fund you for 1 million. They can fund you for 10 million. I mean, they can really fund you for whatever amount, okay. So this is really great, and Bank of America can really help you also build business credit. So you're able to for your new LLC, you are able to get funded, but also have your data reported to Dun and Bradstreet, to Equifax Business, or to Experian Business. So this is really good. So what are the pros and cons here? If you think about Bank of America, the pros first, you have cash secured line of credit, can help you establish and build business credit in some cases. And the bank offers multiple financing options for small businesses. And you have rate discounts of 0.25% to 0.75% for Bank of America preferred rewards members. So if you have a new LLC, I will really encourage you to become a Bank of America preferred reward member, so you can take advantage of certain other products. Okay. So sorry about that. One thing I wanted to say is that there is an annual fee that may come with this business loan from Bank of America. They're charging you like anywhere from 125 to $150 for the first year. So this is something to keep in mind, okay? But the cool thing is that with Bank of America, you have the possibility to actually do business with a more established bank, okay? It's the only bank that does that. Chase doesn't do it. Wells Fargo doesn't do it. Citi doesn't do it, okay? Or even the mid-tier bank, the regional banks, U.S. Bank, Key Bank, all those big banks, PNC, they're not doing it. So Bank of America is doing it. So it's really good. So in order to qualify, you'll actually need to meet Bank of America's criteria of minimum credit score, minimum time in business, 6 months, and minimum annual revenue, $50,000. So minimum credit score like 600, 550 to 600. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about new LLC business loans for fair credit, and I gave you the top lenders, including Fundbox, Fora Financial, Fora Financial, Credibly, Headway Capital, Outline, and Bank of America. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.